Hey everyone, so here are two articles that are interesting to see side by side. One is from CNN with some peaceful camera shots from the UK about how the US has much to learn from the UK in terms of gun control, and the other is, well, an article about a recent shooting in the UK. Now, the shooting in the UK thankfully didn't result in anyone dying as far as I've read, but it easily could have. It was some rave where several gunmen opened fire in a crowd. As of now, it seemed to be directed at one or a few people, but this could have easily resulted in scores of people dying from guns in the UK in one single event. What would the narrative have been then? The narrative certainly would not have been that they need more gun control, right? Don't they already have that by the truckload? I think my point is this. Gun control legislation is way too often spoken about as if it's this cure-all to gun deaths. And if only the US went down the path of the UK or Australia, gun deaths would more or less be a thing of the past. And as usual, when speaking of the US, gun control advocates never mention the war on drugs, which is a whole other government horror show that is at the root of so many of our gun homicides, and not to mention that we border a narco state, which doesn't help, and it's made into a narco state directly because of the US government's drug policy. Or how about the fact that we overprescribe God only knows what to almost everyone now? Could that possibly have something to do with these people snapping and shooting innocent people? These things either don't come up or are only mentioned in passing. So what does this tell us? Does it tell us that the UK is a cesspool of gun violence? Of course not. But the message it clearly says is that just because you have strict gun control laws does not mean that you've seen the last of gun violence. Gun control is not a panacea, and there's nothing worse than people thinking they've solved a problem when in fact they haven't done anything of any tangible meaning. Thanks, and that's all.